So we're only about 2 weeks into turnouts for some of these colts and fillies. Some of them are coming back. I ran through all the turnouts last week, and I missed Casanova's Jewel and Screaming Hawk, obviously. And I appreciate, obviously, I should have all them written down today, just with all the sales and stuff going on. I don't have them all in front of me. I think we have about 19 or 20 horses turned out. Probably 12 or 13 of them are slated to come back in the next 3 weeks. So as we turn some of these horses like Yes and West 52nd out, we will bring back in some other horses that are going to start back, like Fan the Flames and horses like that. Actually, I believe he's coming back today. So we're going to run through the barns instead. So you know who the turnouts are. If I miss your horse, or you want to know how your horse is doing or what's going on with your horse, I want to put as much time into a sale video as I can today. So I want to run through the barns real quick. And if I missed your horse or I missed anything, please just send me an email or call me. Say, hey, how's the horse doing? And I'll put it on a better list than these little pieces of paper I've been using the last 2 weeks. I need an up-to-date, proper hard list. I have one on my phone, but I'm talking on my phone, so it's pretty hard to use that one. Anyway, so that's the turnouts. That's the they're all good. We'll move on right to the barn. So first barn we're going to talk about is Ricky McPhee's barn. Now Ricky had a slow start, obviously, and got 2 winners last week. Bang bang, right in a row. We had the inaugural victory for Timo Houdini in 157, and he looked good doing it. And the night before, I won with Dance Hall Babe. First lifetime win for my girl. 2 minutes and 2/5, last quarter and 29 and a bit at Grand River. Last half 59. I looked, her last charted line was 40 days before that. So, obviously we schooled her and put her on Lasix. She's another one that could have been on the bubble. I saw a little blood there. There wasn't really enough mucus to make me believe that was the reason for her bleeding. And see, the problem is the timing. If we have a charted line, then we scope the horse after and there's blood in that airway, you have to wait 14 days, so you can't race for 15 days. And we've given her most of the summer to get over. Once she touched her knee in the middle of the summer, and we missed the Peaceful Way, we missed everything with her. And I wanted to do what was right for her. And then when we'd schooled her a few weeks back, I noticed that there was some blood in there. So I spoke to the vet, I spoke to Ricky, and I'd said, I'd seen this before, and it's really, by the time we put her on Lasix, race her a few times, and turn her out, we can take her off Lasix when she's 3 if we want to. But I don't want to be pushing her and pushing her and pushing her. When they're bleeding, that compounds, right? You're not going to bleed 1 week and dry her up and treat her up and have her just not bleed the next. It's odd. Make sure I don't miss my flight. That'd be embarrassing. So Dance Hall Babe, first start on Lasix in 40 days the other day, went out and obliterated a maiden field. Not a big deal, but still, beat up in a maiden field at Grand River Raceway. Aged horses, 2, 3, and 4-year-olds are in there, and raced awesome. Very relaxed at the gate, cleared to the front, behaved herself very, very well, and won the race. So that's important. So we'll run through Ricky's barn. First was our Vicka. Our Vicka has had a hit and miss start. She's done well every start. Now the other day we made some equipment changes and shoeing changes, and I opted to stay in with her. We got her out down the lane where she trotted 28-3, 28-4. She's a winner. She trotted 29 flat, I think, and finished 4th, beat 2 lengths. Raced well. But as I said in my email to our clients and own her afterwards, I want to continue to put her in a position where she has to trot 28 seconds because I need her to do that. And I know she can, and I know she's going to be able to, but she hasn't done it yet. So I can put her on the front and come 29 seconds and win a mile in 58-4, 59. For what? To say I did? I want this filly to do it right, and I know she can, and she's learning so fast. Very impressed with what I've seen with her at the gate, in a hole, doing her work. Just need to see her finish up a little bit better. So for me, our Vicka was really, really good the other day. Going to put the back to the bicobbles back on her. I just felt she was a little too loose maybe with those. So You see the trotting hobbles, so you may not know the difference, but underneath, if you look closely, some hobbles have a gold or a black bar underneath. Those hobbles are stationary. They hook to the belly band of the harness, right? The belly band is the trotting hobbles. The bar comes back and the strap goes up over the horse's back. They move a lot. They're not stationary. The ones that I prefer to use on many, many horses, if you notice, there's a strap that goes all the way back to the cross piece of the race bike, and those anchor them a little more stationary. I thought the ones that back to the bike were a little tight on her, and they have different holes, so you can change the settings, the length. I thought they were a little bit tight on her the week before, so I opted for the belly band hobbles, and I thought she warmed up awesome in them. In the race, I thought she could have been better. This is a filly. I think once we race her in her 2018, conclude her 2018 season down the road, I don't think she'll need the hobbles next year. She's a beautiful trotter, and you can see she's a little bit underneath herself and a little bit stabby behind. That's just growth. That's maybe her stifles are bugging her a bit. We can do a little work on her and help her out. But I think as we turn her out after a 2018 season, you're going to see a lot of growth from this filly, and she won't need the hobbles next year at 3. I'm almost positive of that. Boston Glide, in my estimation, is a little bit tired. Trotted in 57, both his last starts, and looked good doing it. One of our clients wants to put him in the Harrisburg sale. So I'd like to work something out and keep the horse, turn him out, and give him some time off, because this is a horse, when we bought him, we knew this family matures later on. So their best races are later in the 3-year-old year, the 4-year-old year, even their 5-year-old year. This is a big, immature, growthy colt, and he looks a little tired to me. So for me, I'd like to keep him, turn him out. Another horse I'm almost certain doesn't need the hobbles when he comes back. He's just turned into a nice horse, and I think he could evolve into a very, very nice horse. And the problem I have with the whole scenario is you can't replace horses like him. This isn't like it was 5 years ago in horse racing, where you could sell a horse like Boston Glide and then potentially go out and replace him with a more affordable animal that might turn into Boston Glide. You just can't. You can't do that anymore. So for whatever we get for him in Harrisburg, I just don't think we're going to be able to replace him for. So I would rather not. But if it's a necessity, then it's what we'll do. I would think the proper route would be to keep him. But at the same time, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. So we'll see how that plays out over the next week or so. So that's Boston Glide. Curious Winner's turned out. Autumn Wings has turned out. Dance Hall Babe, race winner. We talked about her. Very, very happy with her. Another pleasant surprise the other day was Delcrest Star Angel. So she was making breaks at the farm. She's a big, big, big girl. And she was making breaks at the farm. And we took her over to Mohawk, trained her in 2.7. Wow, was she ever good. She's a good 3 weeks from being race ready, if you will. But man, oh man, she looked good. Had last half in 1 and a piece, last quarter in 30 and a bit. For a big, big frame filly, she's really putting it together. Very, very happy with what I saw the other day from Delcrest Star Angel. Another horse that impressed me the other day, King of the Ball. Haven't had a chance to talk to a number of our clients about this colt yet. Took him over to Mohawk, trained him in 2 minutes. Last quarter in 28, last half 58, and he looked like the King of the Ball of old. Now, it's odd because for 2 weeks we gave him mild tranquilizer to jog him and train him and take the edge off him. Weaned him off it a little bit less. So the other day when we trained him, we didn't have any in him, and he was really, really good. So King of the Ball, finding his way in a roundabout way, finding his way to the races. So very, very happy with what I've seen from King of the Ball the last 2 weeks. RV LeBron still striking that knee once in a while. It blew up a couple of times. We're just going to have to find our way with this guy because, he's not hitting his knee that hard, and I think there might be maybe a little clot or something in there that's irritating it. I've seen him hit his knee. He doesn't hit it hard enough for it to blow up the way it did, and we're just going to have to keep working on him. He'll come. His attitude's there. I trained him the other day in 2.7 also. He's maybe 4 weeks away, 3-4 weeks away also. That's if we can contain that knee and keep it in the right way. Just check the time here. Loading in 5 minutes. So that's RV LeBron. Sunshine in, another disappointing end to the year for one of our fillies. Allergies just got the better of her, and I got thinking about her the other day. Her and Linnea both really struggled with allergies and mild sickness throughout the summer. Both these fillies came from the same farm, so we're going to keep an eye out. We're learning as we go too, and I think we're going to keep an eye out for the same indicators and maybe vaccinate them a little more heavily. Some of them we didn't vaccinate this year, and I know people might say, what? You didn't vaccinate them? 3 years ago we vaccinated everything, and we had the sickest barn in Ontario. 2 years ago we vaccinated what we had to. This year, last year now, we vaccinated what we had to. Horses that went to Ohio, they still got sick. Horses that went to Pennsylvania, they still got sick. Now the two standouts for sickness here by far were Sunshine Inn and Linnea, and I believe we need a stronger vaccination program for some of these horses that come off these secluded smaller farms. You look at horses that come from bigger farms, they're around all these different horses coming in and coming out all the time. They're around all these different viruses and sicknesses and build their immune system up. But these guys, I don't think, had the opportunity to do that. And it was pretty evident all year. I'd go out and I'd tell you how fast and how good Linnea schooled and looked, and then we'd race her 5 days later and she'd race horrible. Scope her and she'd mucus, allergy mucus in there. Her weight count would spike. Same as Sunshine Inn. James schooled her 2 weeks ago. I thought she looked absolutely tremendous. I was quietly optimistic heading into the other night with her. She was in a spot where she could get some money and do good. And fell apart. Fell apart down the lane. Pace 57, 58, but scoped her after full allergy mucus. So we're going to put them on a little, any of these horses that fit the same criteria, smaller farms, we're going to put them on a little stronger vaccination program. I'll work that out with the vet in the coming weeks and months. Time Al Houdini, bang! Was awesome. Off about, 30 days, maybe 25, 30 days. First over in the last turn, driving away winner in 157. Yeah, he was a little gassed at the wire, but he wasn't tight. Very, very happy with what I saw the other night with Time Aldini. Ricky's done a great job keeping him healthy. That was another horse that had a lot of allergy issues, and he was real good the other night. The Butler did. It's also turned out he's going to be out for another 3-4 weeks. We'll bring him back and race him throughout the winter. A couple of these horses that were short on starts this year, or we had to turn out to mature, or they get sick, like Cruising and Angus, they'll be coming back and starting to race in the late fall, early winter. And then if they look like they're going to be stake horses, we'll shut them down, give them a little rest, and then right at it for the stakes in 2019. The Butler Did It is one of those. The next horse on the list is also one of those. Too Far Gone. Here's a filly that looked like she was going to have a great summer and just fell apart when she got to Ohio. I like what I've seen with this filly. She's tenacious. She tries really hard. So we turned her out and let her grow up. Probably leave her out for another 6 weeks and then bring her back. And I think I'll be happily surprised with what I see when she comes back. You show me a horse that wants to do their work, that has a license to do so, whether it be breeding or athletic ability. This filly has it all. Has all the ability and potential. And I think she wants to do it. She's got it all put together. Just got to help her. And I think she was just too big. She just needed to mature. So turned her out to let her do so. Last on the list, not last technically, is second last. West 52nd. He has a brother coming up in the sale we're going to be looking at. But West 52nd, probably unlucky more than anything this year. Wasn't really overly sick. Had an unfortunate break his first stake. Got some traffic trouble in his next few races. Then he blew a quarter crack in his last stake race, and I couldn't drive him. He was all over the track. I could drive him last night, but I suspect maybe I trained him a little hard coming into the race. He wasn't as good last night. He was a little weak. They may have just sucked the life out of him, too. They went a mile and 54 and 4 in front of him, which was a full second faster than White Tiger's crew went. So, it's just been a tough night for West 52nd. He's going out to the field now to mature. That's a horse I would bet dollars to donuts will come back and be a very, very good 3-year-old. And last on the list, just because it's alphabetical, Zeppelin B. Zeppelin B's had a very rough year, had a number of things he had to overcome. The other day it was a little warm, a little hot, a little tough to drive the other day, and ended up a mediocre fourth. He's racing again tonight, I believe, at Flamborough Downs. I think this is going to be a useful horse for quite a while. He's just trying to get his legs back under him. Did not have a very good 2018 at all. Looked like he was going to get off to a decent start and then just fell apart. So the poor bugger, we're going to give him We're going to race him throughout the fall and winter and see what happens. If he ends up being sold or being claimed out of that race, then I guess so be it. Obviously, looking at 2017, Zeppelin B was one of our better 2-year-old colts. A little disappointed with the way he came out in 2018, but again, that's racing. So that is Ricky's barn. We will be running back in a minute, run through Jason's barn, Harry's barn, and Kevin's barn. But Ricky, not one but 2 winners this week, did a great job in the barn, and the horses raced good. Good job. So I got my big clunky earphones on here, and we're going to give a real rundown of Harry's barn over the last week. Harry's barn's building up. He's got some horses that have come back in. Now, we turned a bunch of horses out. Just let me get them all transitioned here. I know a couple people said, hey, you forgot Casanova's Jewel and Screaming Hawk last week. Well, they're turned out 100% for sure. And they're going to be out for about 4 or 5... No, they'll be out for 6 weeks, those two. And then we'll bring them back in. We have a multi-stage plan for some of these horses. You're going to see some horses get ready in the next 3-4 weeks. They're going to race throughout the fall. If we like them, we're going to shut them down and freshen them back up. If not, they're going to race all winter, get us some money, and then if we decide we're going to move them along, then that's what we're going to do. Then you have horses like Casanova's Jewel and Screaming Hawk, got nothing to prove, had good years. Maybe didn't have the best of luck at times, but showed some real talent. We're going to give them time to mature and bring them back. Again, race them a few times in the winter, shut them down if they're stake horses, and bring them back. And then we're obviously going to have the horses we already had great years with. Horses that just finished up the year. Oso Pine. Oh, he didn't finish this year. He's got one more stake left. So we'll have Oso Pine. Again, he's got one more race left. West 52nd. I'm toying with the idea. I told everybody last night his year was done. The consolation of the Sire Stakes does go for $60,000. I'm gonna sleep on it. I'm going to sleep on it for a few days, and then we'll talk about West 52nd. But these are horses that potentially will go out for 2 months. Relax. Want to bring them back matured, filled out, strong 3-year-old colts, and start them back late in the fall, early winter. Get them ready again for the stakes next year. Like to have them ready March-ish. Start them at Woodbine once or twice. Woodbine Mohawk Park now. And then have them ready for... I don't want to miss my plane. I've been here all night now. I don't want to miss it. And have them ready for the winter. So we'll move on to Harry's barn. Harry's barn, Better Call Mike. Trained him myself in 225 the other day. Like what I saw in this colt. A little lazy, but got a nice gait. He's put it all together nicely. So Better Call Mike has been in 225 at least twice now. No, Harry trained him twice for that. So he's ready to start dropping down a little bit now also. Very, very happy with what I saw from Better Call Mike. Another horse that's been a pleasant surprise has been Boldness. Boldness trained really well last week. I saw him go. I didn't see him go Saturday. I saw him go Wednesday. I thought he went really, really well. Really happy with what I saw, and I know Harry's been very, very happy with him. Captain Miraculous is a horse. I think Captain may have to go. Because I schooled him the other day in 2-2 at Flamborough. What's 2-2 going to get you? He got around Flamborough. He looked all right doing it. We could race him a couple of times, but realistically, probably just going to qualify him, put a line on him, and maybe put him on gate sale. I don't want to waste your time. You know, if I see horses with potential that if I think turning them out will help, or doing some vet work will help, training them harder, qualifying, racing, I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that we get the best form of that horse there is possible. I just don't know that we haven't already. So for me, Captain Miraculous, probably send an email out to our clients, talk to them in a very frank way, and say, listen, we want to race him a couple of times. I'm up for that. But I don't think he's going to light the world on fire. It's just one of those things. It is what it is. Just a tad, we've turned out. Majesty Boy, again, we've turned Majesty Boy out. Maintenance Man, ready to rock on Tuesday. I schooled him last Tuesday. He'll be sharp. He'll be sharp this Tuesday. I see he's in with a horse that does have a mark of 152 already, so it's not like we're in with some lightweights here. He's at least hooked on to one that's going to give him all he wants. So it's going to be a good race, hopefully Tuesday night for Maintenance Man. Lima's Son starts back jogging Monday. Long awaited return. I'm really interested to see what this colt's going to do. Jeez, it's just a tragedy what happened with him. Last year he got injured after his first stake win. Then we get him all the way back. rehabbed him perfectly, qualify him, and he injures a different leg. And it's just bad luck. But we gave it all the time in the world, and it looks great, great, great. So we're going to start back with him Monday morning jogging. Lincoln James raced like a beast again this week, climbing over sulkies at the wire in 150. Jesus has turned into a nice horse. We were really, really fortunate again. You know, I owe it all to Mark Weaver. He facilitated the sale of this horse and picked him out really out of a group of horses that I didn't know. So thank you to him. This is going to make us. This horse going to make us happy all winter. I think just a beautiful horse. Lincoln James is on fire. Linnea, we turned Linnea out. Screaming Hawk, we turned Screaming Hawk out. Sunshine's Finest. This horse was a little short the other day, so this is what pisses me off. You know, we had this perfect plan for Sunshine's Finest, and it all came together. His first start back, he jogged in 153 in a maiden. We needed that next start to prep him 2 weeks in a row for the Champlain. We needed it. They have a Grand Circuit event, and they don't have a prep race for 2-year-olds a week before. That's a sham. That was horrible. Anyway, we had to take him over and train him. He just wasn't tight. Training and schooling is not like racing. It just isn't. And he schooled good, but he just simply wasn't tight enough. He wasn't tight enough, certainly, to race against Bronx Seelster. He's beat a half a length for second in 51. Paced 53, 52 in a piece. It really pissed me off that. You know, that's just poor management on the track's part. You have a 2-year-old Grand Circuit race going on Saturday. The Saturday before, you put on a prep race for them. Simple as that. I'm really, really upset about that because it cost a second for sure, and I would have liked to see what this colt would have done. He was in a perfect striking position behind Bronx Seelster, and Bronx Seelster made him look inferior down the lane. Take nothing away from Bronx Seelster. The horse a creature. I would have liked to see Sunshine's Finest tight, sharp, and ready to go following that helmet into the stretch. Just didn't get a chance to do it in the right way. So that horse raced well. Warwi Ultra finished second in her last start. She's in to go Tuesday also at Mohawk. I assume she'll be fine. She's coming into the race sharp, feeling good. So Warwi Ultra should be good also. Coming back this week and into Harry's Barn and Care will be Bay Jewel. Bay Jewel had a lackluster summer in Indiana, and she's looking to bounce back with maybe a start or two in the fall. It really depends how she looks when we get her back here, whether I actually race her or not. But this filly schooled faster in June than she went all year in Indiana. So a little deflating, a little disappointing also in that regard. Bay Jewel will be back soon. Obviously, White Tiger and Lawmaker, both Lawmaker's blood was a little screwed up his first start, and he's battling a little bit of a bug. Hopefully he'll be better next week, next Saturday. We're going to train him a little bit on Tuesday because he missed that week leading up to Saturday. And White Tiger raced tremendous. He did scope with a little bit of mucus in his throat after the race in Toronto in Mohawk on Saturday night, but take nothing away from him. Colt's had a tremendous year. Just a beautiful, beautiful horse. Just a nice horse. He's made us money. He's raced good. He's continued on with that Muscle Massive line that's done so well for TheStable.ca in the last 2 years. Really, really happy with what I've seen with Lawmaker. Obviously, goes without saying, and White Tiger. So that's Harry's Barn, and Ricky's Barn was up before that. We're going to come back with Jason's Barn, which is getting a little thinned out, and Kevin's Barn. Anyway, be right back in a second. So we'll give you a quick rundown of Jason's Barn. It's getting a little thinned out after Super Finals night in Ohio. Friggin' Biggin has been stopped with. He's turned out. Jalona raced great. She finished fourth in 155 in Northfield on a half-mile track the other night. Looked really, really good doing it. Candy Mack, I suspect he's done probably for the season. Really had high hopes of racing him Jug Week, but he come up with a real stinker his last start, finished ninth, and I think that's it for him for the year. Oso Pine. Here's a colt that raced great. Just a victim of circumstances. We had a little bit of mucus and blood. We put him on Lasix. He was 12 days from a training trip coming into the final. I suspected he'd be a little bit short, and he was. But he's had a tremendous year. One more stake left for the big colt. He's going to race in Jug Week in the Ohio Breeders type thing. I think you'll see the best, well, maybe not the best form, but a version of the best form of Oso Pine. This guy's got a little step left in him still, and I think he definitely has enough left in his gas tank for one more start. Meadowbrook Charlie made a break on the rail. One thing I asked him to do was not put the horse on the gate first. And Mr. Grismore drove the horse, and he put him on the gate first. He said he was uncontrollable, he was hot. Maybe he was, I don't know. But I know you cannot put Meadowbrook Charlie on the gate first. He just needs to switch his leads coming out of the turn behind the gate, and he can't do that. You put him up in the gate, a lot of times he'll make a break, and he did, in fact, make a break from the rail in Northfield last week. Ready for the Beach. He's done just for a month. You're going to be coming back, Beach, and he's going to race throughout the fall, and early winter. Real Willie, he's now back in town. He's in Ricky's barn, and Real Willie looked good the other day schooling. We entered him in to go Tuesday. He didn't get in. I assume we'll have him back in to go Thursday night at Mohawk. See you in Tuscany. Horrible last two starts really, but a fantastic start to the year. Didn't get to finish the year off with a bang the way we hoped. Looked a little lame to me in the post parade and in the race. Seemed fine after the race, so little time off. I know he didn't race that much this year, but we all know the people that are the major players with See You in Tuscany. You know the year he had. He was very, very sick in January. He missed most of January. Again, sick in May. That takes a lot out of a horse. He bounced back, raced tremendous his first two starts, put some money away, owes nobody nothing, and then had an abysmal end of the year. Going to turn him out, bring him back. Hopefully he'll be fresh and strong at 3. Definitely needs some growing time for sure. Twinsburg raced fantastic on Saturday night. I think if James doesn't get stuck behind one of the favorites, but if he doesn't get stuck behind that horse, I think we're either in the winner's circle or very, very close. She raced great. She may have one more race left, but may not also. West 52nd now is back in Ontario. I am toying with the idea of potentially putting him in the consolation, which goes for 60 grand. This colt wasn't perfect the other night, and I think could be a lot better. So I'm just toying with that idea right now of potentially racing him in the consolation. And our boy Yes got a tough drive the other night. I wasn't there. It's easy to shit on the driver. I've been on both sides of that equation, and I didn't think he got a great drive, but I wasn't there. Maybe there was something up. Maybe he couldn't get the horse away from the gate. Maybe the horse didn't want to step better there in the mud. I have no idea. He ended up with a really bad trip, parked the whole mile, 9th on the outside, advanced and ended up 5th. Got some money in the final, as he's done all year. And that is it for Yes for the season. And what a season he had. Just the Rocky Balboa of horses this year. Put some real good money away for our clients and did very, very good for himself. And I think you're going to see a really, really nice 3-year-old emerge from the ashes of the 2-year-old season of Yes. So that's Jason's barn. We're going to come back with Kevin's barn really quick, and we're going to be all done. So we're pretty well through all the barns here. Obviously the stir today for me is I'm stuck in the airport, and the other stir is we got 4 horses at the Goshen sale today. We had a small Goshen portion of this video. You should be able to go and see what horses we got, see how it all took place, and how it all played out in Middletown, New York today. If I look tired, it's because I am. If I look sick, it's probably because I'm sick also, because I've been in an airport in freezing cold New Jersey or New York all day, and I do get a little cough. So the good news is I'll live and I will sleep. Bad news is I'm tired. So we're going to run through Kevin's barn real quick. Going to give you a quick rundown of Kevin's barn, what's gone on with Kevin's barn, changes that were made. We finally sold Promise Blue Chip. Goodbye. She left, went to the Meadows. It was long overdue. So we made a change with her and sold her. Unfortunately, my little filly Paleline Blue Chip got injured. She came up a little bit lame left front after the race. The vet had said that her sesamoids were kind of bad and asked us to give her a month in the stall and then 3 or 4 or 5 weeks of swimming, and then we re-examine her. But she's got some rough looking sesamoids on her, a big girl. But she's a trooper, and I'm sure she'll come back. So she's in the stall for a month. Stonebridge Hall was claimed. I'm just looking at this older list. He didn't race very good his first start, I saw that, but they put him up a class, so no big deal there. Master Saver's on the list. He's in the pool right now swimming. He should be back probably in another couple of weeks. Happy holidays has been racing terrible. We decided to give her some time off. So we'll start from the top. Art Seeker. Art Seeker's been racing horrible. He's in to go tomorrow at Grand River Raceway, I believe. And they need to get this colt into the race. They keep taking him off the gate. He doesn't race good when you do that. And I hope they put him in play tomorrow. Book the Bet has had a fantastic year, really quietly. Has put together, put away some decent money, really, in this mid-level condition and condition claimer class. She's found a home in that condition claimer, and I told you, this is the perfect type of horse. Every dollar she makes, she creeps closer to that line, that saturation point, if you will, where once you get out of that class, it's a big hike uphill after that. And she's getting close. And the closer she gets, the less chance there is anybody's going to claim her. So we can just keep throttling the condition claimers. She put a little stutter step in last week. Looked like she jumped over something leaving the gate. And it cost her the front, cost her the race. She finished second, though, and raced really well. Buckingham is in to go tomorrow night at Mohawk. Buckingham has been lights out, great all year. Really hasn't put away the gold type money, but has raced good. I know she was 6th or 7th in Clinton, but I got locked in with her. I mean, she was only beat a length and a half for 3rd, and if I get out, she is 3rd. She had lots of pace at the wire. Cash in on me. Cash in on me's back jogging with Kevin. I drove by him the other day, and he looked good on the track, and I said, geez, how's this colt been? He said, no, I like him. He's trotting nice. I said, he's going to jog for another 3 weeks, and then we'll start training him down. But he liked what he saw and cashed in on me, so maybe turning him out is exactly what he needed. It appears that boldness is definitely better since he's come back in, so hopefully that trend continues with cash in on me. Dancing at Midland, little sore middle of the week. Kevin has to scratch him tomorrow night at Grand River Raceway. We're going to get him looked at, make sure everything's okay with this guy. This left hind's been a little bit of a problem before in the past. Want to nip this puppy in the bud before it becomes something we do not need it to be. So Dancing at Midland won't be racing this week. Probably going to scratch him and give him the week off. Dancing on My Own, man, oh man. This filly filled out so good and come back so good. She looks like $1 million. Really impressed with how she's filled out. Tommy Riley did a great job with her over the summer. She really looks good right now. So Dancing on My Own, I'm keeping a very close eye on this filly, because exactly how we want them to come back is exactly how she looks. She looks great. Again, happy holidays. Going to get some time off, see if we can freshen her up. Got to do something with this mare. She has had an abysmal 2018 campaign. We're going to try and get her straightened back away. Hard Eight's had a great campaign 2018. Finished 3rd, beat a length in Clinton. Left with her, finished up okay for a big mare on a half-mile track. She's really exceeded what we needed her to do this year. Maybe not put away the money that we needed. We needed her put away to break even or turn a profit at all. But at the same time, we do have a very talented filly. I think she'll only race once or twice more. We'll put her away and see what we get back. I suspect we're going to get back a really nice 3-year-old. Master Saver, again, I said he's in the water. He's doing some water jogging for the next 2 weeks, and then we'll have him back in. Mo Better. I schooled Mo Better the other day. Put him on the front. He obliterated them in the schooler and looked great doing it. Looked fantastic doing it. So, Mo Better, I am very pleased with what I've seen with him for sure. Expecting good things hopefully on Tuesday also. Paleline Blue Chip, I said she got a little bit injured. She's going to need some time off. She deserves some time off. I wish she had time off in better circumstances, but that's the way the cookie crumbles in the race game. Promise Blue Chip, Sayonara, she left. Gonzo. For our clients, I apologize it took so long. I don't know how many chances you have to give a horse before you call it quits, but I think I gave her a little too many, and that's on me, and I apologize. But she is now sold. Sally DeVee continues to race pretty good. I didn't see her name in to go this week. I don't know if she is or not, to be honest, but she's been racing pretty good. Ended up leaving the other day in a short field and then left and come first over. Probably not a great combo for Sally DeVee. She's more of a leave and sit type mare. So I don't know when she's in to go, and I don't know where she's in to go, but I assume she's in to go soon. Time All Tulo. Everybody keeps asking, where's Tulo? Kevin's just keep being really easy with this colt. He asked me for another week. He asked me for another week. I'm not going to rush him. If Kevin McMaster needs another week with the horses, obviously we got to give him another week. He's a trainer and he knows what he's talking about. So he wants what's best for Time Tulo. So it's not like he's being lazy and doesn't want to race. He wants his horse firing on all cylinders, and that's exactly what we should afford him the patience to do. So Time Tulo will school, I would say, Tuesday, and he will race next Tuesday, and then he will have the second last gold, the last gold. Hopefully we can get him up into the final also. So that's Kevin's barn. It's thinned out a tiny bit also over the last week. Not a bad thing with the departure of Promise Blue Chip, but obviously a bad thing for me with the resting of Pay the Line Blue Chip. So that's Kevin's barn. We've gone through all the barns. We've gone through a breakdown of the stable this week. I gave you a quick breakdown of the sale, how it went, how it all shook out, what we have now in the barn, and what's coming up. And again, I have to stress, take a look. I'm going to be sending out a video on Tuesday outlining what I'm looking at, and I have a lot of horses on a list to look at. It's 250 in the sale. I'm probably looking at a fifth of them that I want to go and take a serious look at. Some breeds I'm not interested in, some I am very interested in, and some of our clients already have horses picked out that we want to go look at also. I would like the opportunity to spend some money in Ohio and make sure that we stay relevant in Ohio, and to do that, the Ohio Select Sale is the place to be. So, if you have any interest in partnering with us at the Ohio Select Sale, which I assume a lot of you do, speak up, send me an email, send me a text message, or just pick up the phone and call me and say, yeah, we're looking to invest some money for the Ohio Select Sale. It would be greatly appreciated, because as you can see, when you go to the sales, I've learned this over the last 3 years. I'm trying to figure out a way to get you guys, we're all on the same team here, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get you guys in, but at the same time, I understand where you're coming from. You're interested in what we have, not what we might have in a lot of the cases. And for me to have those horses, I got to put my hand up. So, this Friday coming is our first major sale of the year, the Ohio Select Sale. This video is going to hopefully go out. This video will go out Tuesday morning. Tuesday afternoon, or maybe even Tuesday night, you will get a full video with a breakdown of all the horses we're interested in, and there is about 50 horses there. A lot of horses, a lot of breeds, a lot of stake racing next year, and we want to be a part of it. So, for me, don't worry about me. I'm going to have lots of sleep on the plane and lots of sleep when I get home. Be a late start to Monday. We were going to train some horses at Mohawk on Monday, but with all the rain, I can't imagine we're going to be able to train them on Monday. It might be a Tuesday morning operation. Anyway, thanks very much again for all the messages and all the people that reached out and bought shares of the horses today. There are shares available on all but one of our horses. The Credit Winner filly is completely sold out. The Heston Blue Chip filly has a little over half. Both the fillies have a little over half, and the Trot and Colt has a little more than that. So we have lots of availability on the three horses we bought today. All three horses, I think, were underpriced by about 20 to 30% by my calculations. Maybe I priced them high, but I don't think so. I think I'm usually bang on or close to it, and I had these horses pegged higher. So for me, we did some great work here in Goshen today, and I cannot wait to get out of the state of New Jersey right now. So I will talk to you guys soon. We'll be in touch. I'll have that video for you ready for the Ohio Select Sale very soon. Take care.